Hello dear CAT aspirants, welcome to another video from T.I.M.E, the test prep experts. Now that you have embarked on the CAT preparation journey, we hope you are watching all our videos regularly in various subject areas. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for regular video updates. So, today we have for you a video on reading comprehension preparation. Reading comprehension, as you all know, is a very important testing point in CAT and almost all other management entrance examinations. Now, there is one question that we keep getting regularly from our students regarding reading comprehension, and that is, how do we begin when we are faced with a reading comprehension passage and questions based on it? Where do we start? Do we read the entire passage and then answer the questions, or do we take each question, read it, and go back to the passage to find the answer to that question? Now, is this a chicken or egg type of problem that has no solution, or do we have a conclusive answer to this question? Let us find out, okay? But before that, how did this question arise? So now, reading comprehension is something that you have been doing since your preschool days maybe, right? So let us try and think of the reading comprehension that we did in school. So typically you would have a passage with maybe a story like this. Tina was sitting in the garden wearing a blue dress. Let us say this would be part of the story, right? And then there would be a question based on this, like this. What was the color of Tina's outfit? And the options would be red, blue, yellow, orange. So how would you go about answering this? First of all, you would not read the story at all. You would look at question 1. What was the color of Tina's outfit? Okay, red, blue, yellow, orange. Then what do? You go to the passage and say, Tina, color, okay, there you go, blue. Tina, color, blue. Find blue here, finished. Who was Tina? Why was she sitting in the garden? Why should we know? We only need the answer to the question, right? We have all done this, guys. However fond of reading we may be, when it comes to reading comprehension, we all have relied on this approach. Some students even tell me, hey ma'am, it's a very scientific approach, it's called the keyword approach. Yes, I agree with you. Now it is time to do a little bit of unlearning. Why? Let us see. What if the same question were to appear in your CAT exam? First of all, you know that in CAT, you are very unlikely to get a passage which says Tina was sitting in the garden wearing a blue dress. You're more likely to get passages like Aristotle sat in a garden thinking of the meaning of life, etc., etc. However, for now, let us imagine that you get the same passage in CAT. Okay, Tina was sitting in the garden wearing a blue dress. The question is also the same. What was the color of Tina's outfit? Now all of us get very excited. Wow, we got such an easy question in CAT. Then we look at the options. The options are dark blue, light blue, bright blue, and faded blue. Nowhere else in the passage is anything written about the color of Tina's outfit. Now, how shall we apply the keyword approach? Blue can mean any of these, right? What do we do now? What we would do is, suppose this passage came up for discussion in a classroom, right? One student would say, hey, it's not so difficult. Look at the very first line of this passage. It says, it was a bright and sunny day. If the day is bright, then the color of Tina's outfit must also be bright. Fair enough, right? Sounds quite logical. But then another student would say, in fact, I have got this response in class when I narrated this story. Another student would say, hey, what are you talking about? If it is a bright and sunny day, then Tina would not sit in the bright sun. She would sit in the shade. So her dress would be more like dark blue. And now everybody is confused. They look for the answer and they find that the answer is faded blue. How did we get faded blue of all things? This is one option we thought we could eliminate right in the beginning. Now you see, your keyword approach is not going to work in these kind of passages because okay, there is our Tina sitting in the garden. I forgot to show you Tina. But yeah, this approach is not going to work in an exam like CAT where the questions are based on inference and the options are very, very close. When the options are very, very close, there is no way you can answer those questions without understanding the author's tone and perspective. Okay. Now, why the author's tone and perspective? Because very often students confuse inference with assumption or imagination. Very often students feel, okay, the passage says blue and they are asking us what kind of blue. Now we have to use our imagination or our intelligence. If that were the case, if there are 300,000 students appearing for CAT, there should be 300,000 different options. In a multiple choice exam with only 4 choices and 1 right answer and negative marking, you cannot afford to use your imagination or even what we call our intelligence. We need to stay very, very, very loyal to the author's tone and perspective. Okay, inference has to be strictly based on what the author says in the passage. And hence, it is very important that you understand the central idea of the passage. The central idea. See, it may not be possible for you to comprehend each and every little detail while reading the passage, and that is perfectly okay. But by the time you finish reading the passage, you should have an idea of the central idea of the author. What is the author primarily trying to say in the passage? What is the author's tone towards this issue? Only then will you be able to find the right answer when the options are as close as dark blue, lighter blue, lightest blue, etc. Okay, so there is no chicken or egg question anymore. The answer is loud and clear. We need to read the passage first. Dear students, please keep this in mind. There is no doubt about this in CAT, even if the question looks like a specific detail question. That is, even if the question says, in para 2, the author says something, etc., you still cannot just go to para 2 and find the answer, because in many cases, the author may have said something in para 2, but in order to comprehend the full implication of that statement, you need to know what he says in para 1 and maybe para 5. Maybe he would make the statement in para 2, but give the real intention of making that statement only in para 4. Okay, so unless you understand the essence of the passage in entirety, you are very likely to go wrong. Our question is solved. You need to read the passage first. Okay, but there is a little twist in the tale. The story does not end here. After all, it is CAT reading comprehension. So there is a little more to it. Okay. Please watch the second part of this video, the chicken or egg question part 2, to know more. In the meanwhile, keep practicing, keep watching our videos. All the best. Thank you.